Okay, this is part 2 of 2, a continuation of the discussion of 235 Queensway, and we're on Bernard, just where we left off momentarily. So, we're heading along Bernard, and don't know if you can see the water from here, but if there was a building to be constructed on this property we're coming up to right here, which is unfortunately probably never going to happen, but it definitely is the best perspective in Kelowna. Anyway, I'm going to take you down the alley here to 215 Lawrence, and I'm taking you down the alley because it's the fastest way to get there, and I don't want to be making attempt number 4 on this thing. I'm getting a little fatigued with this effort to do this. Fatigued physically, I guess, as much as anything. So here's 215 Lawrence. We're looking at it from the north, and it's on the south side of the street. That's the building. So we're just going to take you up here, and this is the northeast corner of the building. So again, I'm just concentrating on the view corridors of the lake, the park, because everything's got a city view, I guess, when you're in the city. There's the northern view perspective. Right this way. That's dead, more or less dead north, I guess, at least along the street perspective. I don't know how it relates to the compass north, but that's the way the lake orients, that way, north to south. So, as you can see, there's a privately owned property here, and presumably they could construct a tower, you know, going straight up, just as they could on the subject or any of these comparables. There's the structure there. That's 5 stories plus half a story of underground parking. Parking is partly below grade. And as you can see, there's not, if you were standing at the edge of your suite, right at the front, you would be able to see something, but otherwise not too much. If you were back 10 feet, standing back 10 feet in your suite. Now going along the orientation here, we'll stop at about the 2/3 point towards the frontage, and that's right about here, roughly. Stick it back down there. Oops, rollerblades. And here's your direct orientation. So if you're back 10 feet in your suite, you know, this is where what you could be looking at, another tower going up there. And standing close to the window, you can obviously see the lake here. But if you were back 10 feet, you certainly wouldn't be able to see that. That's, you know, you'd have a much more peekaboo view. So going along here to the northwest corner of this property at 215 Lawrence, right here. Now, here's your direct western view from this corner. And sweeping northerly, yes, that suite would have a good view, no doubt about it, right? But as you go out this way, off to the distance there, that's 300 meters to the lake, roughly. And then to the south, no real view. Much more distant view off that way of the lake. It would be visible if you get above probably the 4th floor. Tree canopy is actually higher here than it was back in Kerry Park, where we were in front of the subject, when we were in front of the subject. This is the edge of the property. This is the other comparable right here, the Travel Lodge at 1627 Abbott. So they're side by side. Obviously from here, you'd have this building obstructing on the one side and this on the other. Presumably towers on either side, right? So no view to this way or this way from one of the 2 towers. So here's your view here. If you're standing right at the front of your suite, looking directly west, and then if you're right at the window, you would be able to get a nice view there. But if you're back 10 feet in your suite, you know, that's the sort of orientation you're going to be looking for. 300 meters off to the distance, you'll be able to see the lake. And I'll actually skate you out to the lake to show you how far it is, to have some idea that it is a more distant perspective. And obviously people pay for proximity to views, not just the view itself. A view of the ocean 10 miles away isn't as good a view as a view of the ocean 2 meters away. Okay, so this is 1627 Abbott. This is actually 4 contiguous lots. And just skating along here, heading toward the southwest corner of 1627 Abbott, which is the Travel Lodge. And don't know if you can see that light up there. but that's actually the highway. So you're 1 block from the highway here, and you do get a considerable amount of traffic noise. It's Sunday morning 10 to 9, so it's not as bad as it would be a lot of other times. So here's your orientation to the lake from this corner. Way off in the distance there is the lake, and I'm holding it actually over my head so you can maybe get it, but there's some lake view there. So if you're standing right in front of your suite, yes, you're going to be able to see it, but if you're standing 5-10 feet back, not so much. So I'm going to skate you across, and we're basically skating down the roadway here to skate you out to the lake. So you can see the difference in proximity between this property, those two properties, when you're looking directly westward, compared to the subject 235 Queensway, which offers you a very proximate western view and a somewhat more distant northerly view, although not as far as this view is. So I'm probably skating about, let's say, 10 to 15 miles an hour. I'm a hockey player, so I'm a decent skater. Not the world's best or fittest, but this is City Park. There's lawn bowling there. Parking lots back this way, off in that distance. I don't know if you can see it, but the Bennett Bridge, still skating. Coming up to the kiddie park here, water park. My kids had a lot of fun in this. But we're still headed out to the lake. It's coming up here. So, it is coming up, and I don't know how well you can see the Bennett Bridge over there, but, and again, I'm probably skating somewhere right now. I'm going to say maybe around 10 miles an hour or something. 8 to 10 miles an hour. I've slowed down a little bit. And there's the Bennett Bridge. We'll show that, and that goes all the way over here as well. So there's some orientation to that Bennett Bridge. Scan you back out, and we're right at the edge of the promenade, the beach, waterfront. But you know, the subject is, or not the subject, I'm sorry, 1627 and 215 Lawrence, direct westerly about 300 meters back that way. So not nearly as proximate as the waterfront on the other property. So certainly I think the waterfront's important. I think it's important to mention, and I think anyone either understanding it or wanting to produce a normal commercial appraisal is going to mention the proximity of the waterfront on all these 3 parcels and have a broad, full discussion about it. So that's it. Hopefully the viewer has some idea of the waterfront of these 3 parcels, the waterfront view. Okay, signing off for now. Hope you enjoyed our tour through the city